This clip is glorious. On the Politics Live show yesterday, Richard Tice, the leader of the right-wing Reform Party, got his ass handed to him by Kate Andrews. She's currently a journalist at The Spectator, a right-wing publication that supports the Conservative Party. However, she was also the director of a hard-right lobby group posing as a think tank called the Institute of Economic Affairs. That's about as right-wing as you can get before you go to the extreme right. The sort of people that supported Liz Truss and the mini-budget, the one that crashed the economy and raised everyone's mortgages. So to see the right-wingers openly attacking each other is quite impressive. And Richard Tice got schooled quite well. I was impressed. Everything she said was spot on, which isn't what you expect to come out of the right-leaning mentality. So here's a question for you. Do you actually agree with her? Let me know down in the comments.
What's good for the economy is where we've got genuine skill shortages of high-wage jobs, which should broadly be above the national average. Instead, what we've had is big business being addicted to cheap, low-skilled overseas labour, well below the average salary, and that's depressed British wages, and sadly it's meant that too many people are trapped on out-of-work benefits.
All right, what do you make of that economics analysis?
Well, Richard, I'd like to ask you, there are about 900,000 job vacancies in the UK right now, and actually as we came out of the pandemic, particularly in 2021, 2022, we saw some of those traditionally classified lower skilled jobs receive huge wage bumps in a bid to get people back into work. It very often didn't work. And my question to you is, if you were going for zero net migration, are you suggesting that you will take that real hit to the economy, potentially for years on end, in a bid to try to get more native Brits back into work? Right. But let's be honest about the trade-off here, because
hang on, Richard. Let her finish her point, and then you can respond.
I just want to be honest about the trade-offs here, because when we talk about zero net migration and we look at the job vacancies and we look at the needs in the UK, you have to be very clear about which workers you don't want here and what the economic impact and social impact will be. Care workers, healthcare workers, they might not pass your smart immigration policy, and goodness knows we'll miss them.
For an economy to work, as you well know, or should know, you have to have some job vacancies. You have to have people on the move.
Not nearly a million.
Hang on, that's about a long-term average. You need that. And here's the thing, if you've got hang on, as you well know, if you've got a shortage of labour, what happens? Wages go up. That's good for British people. And if the businesses can't afford the wages, they invest in capital equipment to replace it. That's how an economy works.
As just mentioned, we have seen a lot of those processes. We are still struggling to find the workers.
You want to welcome infinite supply of cheap, low-skilled overseas labour that depresses British wages,
Richard,
and that's shocking.
Richard, that's not my end goal here.
That's exactly what you're suggesting.
What I'm suggesting is that when people, on my side of the argument, which is certainly more classically liberal in immigration, we have to admit, right, that things like housing, things like healthcare, things that the state supply tend to be in short supply when you have more people come in unprecedented levels. Of course they do. What your side of the argument needs to grapple with is who don't you want here to fill in those job vacancies? We have a shortage of care home workers. We have a shortage of healthcare workers. We have a 7.6 million waiting list on NHS England alone. Who isn't coming here, and what is the impact on the economy going to be? It is not straightforward in either direction. This is a nuanced debate.
Are you aware that we've got over 5 million people on out-of-work benefits?
Yes, but they're not all trained doctors, Richard.
Why don't we train up our own people? Why don't we allow...
We should. That may take decades.
Why don't we increase the starting point for income tax to £20,000 a year as opposed to £12,500?
So you won't say. So you make these grand proclamations about immigration, but fundamentally you will not say who you wouldn't have be here. And I think, again, a lot of people are listening and thinking, where are the gaps going to be? How is that going to hurt?
We're going to have to stop here very briefly, Richard.
You're welcome 450,000 as a long-term average. You're completely misreading the economic reality, Kate.
All right, Richard Tice from Reform UK. Thank you very much.
The video on screen now is best suited to you, so go watch that next. Don't forget to hit that like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.